Okay, so here we are with our 15, 16. So how are you going to determine the face of this instrument, making sure that you've got the right cutting edge? Because again, we know that the curette, these area-specific curettes have only one cutting edge. There's a non-functional and a functional cutting edge. We have to determine which one is the functional because we're only sharpening one edge. But we will be coming around the whole toe because we don't want to square off this toe or create a point and create a sickle instead of a rounded toe. We don't want to tip, we want to maintain the toe. So how we do this is how I do it. I sometimes take my test stick and I see if I can wrap my 15 right around that, and then I can determine nicely that, okay, the lower cutting edge is my functional cutting edge right on the left. So I'm going to know that. So I start off with my terminal shank is perpendicular to the floor. So straight up and down, right? Perpendicular to the floor or the counter. In our case, it would be the counter or a stone, okay? And we take our card, we make sure that our face is parallel again to the countertop, parallel, right? And the terminal shank is, we have it started off at 12, but the thing is where this is self-angulated, we have to make this a 90-degree angulation, okay? So what does that mean? So here we are, it's self-angulated, see how it's tilted slightly? So we have to untilt it, come in, untilt it, make it at a 90, and that means that our terminal shank is going to be slightly tilted, right? And then we come in, we make sure that we allow enough space in between my wrist and my hand to get right in like so. So I start off with my heel third. Again, I just kind of move my arm away so that I can get comfortable. My heel, middle third, and toe third. Now, if I want, I take my toe and do it such, but I have to make sure that I maintain parallelism, right? And I start off on the corner. And I can come around my toe that way, or I can just make a continuing one fell swoop coming around the toe instead of doing the 3 o'clock. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. Again, get my arm so that I have enough space in between here, and I make sure I have some parallel, faces parallel, heel, start off at 12, move it over to 11, heel third, middle third, and then toe third. And I can stop like that, or I can just finish coming around like so and just move my arm slightly. But notice I have to move when I come around the toe because this is angled a little bit more steeper than the lateral surfaces of my to 2 o'clock. So, or in this case, 10 o'clock. So I start off at 11, but when I come around that toe, I make it a little bit steeper at 10 o'clock on this particular side, okay? So I start off at 12, tilt it off, start 11 o'clock, heel, middle, and my toe, which I open up more into a 10 o'clock position, and I stop at that very corner right here. Again, I want to try to maintain that round toe. I don't want it to turn into a square. If it does turn into a square, then I need to slightly angle that, don't I? Okay, I'm coming around this side, getting rid of that point. Flip the, remove your wires. Again, make sure that the face is parallel. Turn my instrument over, and now I, again, start off with my terminal shank perpendicular to the countertop, right? My face is parallel to the countertop, but I'm going to slightly angle this and open that so that now my face is not tilted, but now parallel to the countertop, because initially, again, when my terminal shank is perpendicular, I'm slightly slanted at a 70-degree angle, aren't I? I wanted it a 90, so open that up to a 90 versus a 70. 70, 90, okay? Now, I start off at 12 o'clock, angle it around the heel at your 1 o'clock position, and then when I get around to the toe, I open my stone or my card at 2 o'clock. But on the lateral sides, it's 1. The toe is 2, okay? Just follow the guide, and also use your skill assessments to follow around the toe. So heel, middle, around my toe. I see how I'm angling it, and I'm slightly opening it up. And I do move my hand a little so that I can get around that toe. So I do this little torque with my wrist. However, I am maintaining parallelism with the face of my instrument to the counter. And then you get rid of your wires. And then you use the test stick on every single time. One side though. Remember, one side only with the curette.